Howdy, howdy, everyone, and welcome to RetroZpective, the podcast of retro music recommendations for Gen Zers. I'm Kath, a Gen Z millennial cusp, and I love old and new music alike. In this show, I trace similarities between modern and classic artists, making listening suggestions along the way. In this episode, we're going to talk about Troye Sivan. Troye Sivan is an Australian singer-songwriter who first came to popularity through his activity on YouTube in the early 2010s, which I truly see as a testament to Gen Z's impact on the music industry. They're really shaping where people are getting their popularity and gaining their fame these days, and Troye Sivan is an excellent example of this. But a lot of people may not know that he actually got his start by competing in national talent competitions on television in Australia. Following that, his YouTube channel was super recognizable for his video blogs or vlogs documenting his day-to-day life. He also did some entertaining collaborations with other popular YouTubers. Tyler Oakley is a name that you might recognize from these early 2010 days on YouTube. And not only has he been super successful with his albums and his YouTube career over the past 8 years, but he's also had an amazing acting career that's taken off recently. He played a young Wolverine in the X-Men Origins film, and he gained public attention for his supporting role in Boy Erased in the most recent years, which actually takes me to my next point, which is that Troye Sivan has been extremely open about his sexuality as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. He came out as gay publicly on YouTube in 2013 and has been a super vocal advocate for the LGBTQ plus community in general, for their representation and rights over the years. And a lot of his lyrics really incorporate his sexuality as part of the message. He really tries to bring in that representation that he may not have had in pop music growing up. So obviously, he's become this pop icon. It's a community that's definitely always been a huge part of music, but maybe has not seen themselves as a part of that. So you're a huge Troye Sivan fan. You're looking for some similar, maybe like a vintage pop pick to listen to. What should you try out? I would say my biggest recommendation would be George Michael, who has really been regarded as one of the most important cultural figures of the 80s in pop music in general. One of his most famous songs, Careless Whisper, I've noticed has become recently popular on TikTok. They really seem to occasionally just kind of pick up on throwback songs, things that other people might already be familiar with, but it seems like Gen Z is really starting to dig into some of these older songs. He started off as a member of the band Wham, which was a duo, but became a solo artist ultimately. And some of his music was really seen as controversial at the time. He was certainly taking a stand on social issues. He didn't want to back down on his image and how he presented himself. But it wasn't until 1998 that he came out as gay and became a leading advocate for gay rights, raising money for HIV/AIDS research, encouraging others not to hide their own sexuality. And this is kind of where I see some of the similarities between George Michael and Troye Sivan. Troye Sivan obviously came out fairly early in his career, and George Michael had quite a bit of time before that happened for him, but I think George Michael really set the stage for Troye Sivan's own activism, his openness about his sexuality. In terms of a listening recommendation, I would say check out Jesus to a Child by George Michael, and then listen to it, compare it to Rager Teenager by Troye Sivan. I see a little bit of a similarity in the sound of the two tracks, and I just think they would be really good back to back. So that'll take us to the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about these two solo male artists. If you have any recommendations on artists you'd like to see me talk about, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for listening to RetroZpective. I've been Kath.